pretend like I'm sleeping. I'm gonna pretend like I'm sleeping. Hello everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the channel. My name is Tiffany and today we're officially going to be finishing the Moomin painting that we've all been waiting for. If you guys didn't see the last video, I filmed a good amount of my progress for the Moomin painting that I've been working on to go on my wall over there. There's a huge empty spot over there on my wall and I kind of hate it because when I stream on Twitch, there's just nothing there. And I look at it every day from my bed right here, POV on my bed. I'm looking at it and there's nothing there all the time. I'm going to try to ideally finish it today, although I feel like this process might span over 2 days. I haven't really been rushing this painting too much. I've just kind of been working on it as I go, but I am quite motivated to finish it now because I have a couple other projects in the works that I want to do. And so today is a day in the life for me, but I will also be painting and I have been so happy to be getting back into painting. Like, it's been so incredibly fun. So I've been having the literal best time, but I just woke up and we're gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna get some food and then we are going to start our work. I think I have a new lip gloss in the mail today as well. I've been really obsessed with lip glosses lately because it's just been like the new makeup product that I've been using. I'm excited. I got a new Rom End one and hopefully it's gonna be good. So let's go ahead and go downstairs, get some food in our bodies, and then we can start working. Ooh. Before we get breakfast though, I'd like to talk about the sponsor to today's video, which is Native, because they've been helping me get ready for the longest time and I am so thankful for them. If you guys don't know what Native is, they are a brand that makes deodorants, body washes, shampoos, conditioners, lotions, so many great things. This week I've been sent buttercream and French vanilla, sweet peach and nectar, as well as lilac and white tea for their deodorants. And these deodorants have not been sticky at all when applying and are also vegan and cruelty free, as well as aluminum free and paraben free. And Native just came out with a new candy shop line and I am so happy about it. This is their new body wash that they sent me and it is the sour berry belts. As you can see, the container is a little bit concave because I've already been using it. This is definitely one of my new favorite Native products and I've been using it like crazy. A little bit like candy and citrusy, but not too overwhelming. It's also sulfate free, paraben free, and dye free. They also have some other different scents like gummy bears, cinnamon hearts, and strawberry vanilla taffy. 3 of these deodorants would typically be $39, but if you use my code WENG3, you can actually get 33% off, which is such a steal, and get 3 deodorants for just $26. And their deodorants can also come plastic free. And you can also get 20% off any body wash or lotion, so go get this one. This one is actually so good. Thank you again to Native so much for sponsoring today's video. Check them all out. I have everything linked down in the description box, and let's get on into the vlog. So welcome to my morning routine. We're just making some coffee this morning and we're also gonna get some little breakfast. I actually went to the store a couple days ago, so I have some yummy snacks from then. And we're also just, of course, gonna get some coffee. I've been drinking coffee out of this cute little teacup and here's my mom's hand model moment that she wanted me to show you. This isn't really much preparation, it's just me taking stuff out of plastic. I just have these little snacks here. They're little cream cheese muffins and they're so good. I love cream cheese muffins and I always get these from like the Korean bakeries around me. And we're gonna put some creamer in our coffee. I've been using the Starbucks white chocolate creamer and I love it so much. So this has become a part of my new morning routine. It's actually decaf, so I'm not gonna get super hyper from it. Nice. So currently I am making some coffee over there. That's gonna be done in a little bit. So in the meantime, I'm going to unbox this lip gloss and hopefully it is a good one. I'm not sure, I got this off of Amazon. Rom End has been a brand that I've liked for quite a while, especially for lip glosses. And the one I was previously using, I actually used up the whole thing, but I got it in Shanghai a long time ago. So I didn't know if they were gonna come out with another one, but I've had my eye on them for a bit and they came out with this new one. This is in the shade 00 Meteor Track. It's a weird consistency though, I will say. Like you can see in the tube, it has like a little bit of a weird consistency. Like you see the way the bubbles are forming, it's a bit of like a gel. I'm okay with that personally, it doesn't really bother me. I love their little applicators, like a little plastic guy. But as you can see, it's completely clear, which is what I want because my lip combo is typically a lip tint and then a lip gloss. And then I just apply the lip gloss throughout the day. But this is probably one of my favorite ones, one of my new favorites. It's their Glasting Water Gloss. And they actually had another shade on Amazon, like a pinker tone. I think I'm gonna try that out too. But this one has like little purple and blue sparkles in it. I don't typically like in lip glosses. I'm very particular about my sparkles. But for this one, it really doesn't doesn't show up that much, so it doesn't bother me. But the most important part to me is that it is clear, it is glossy, and it doesn't feel nasty. It actually has a bit of like, this is not sponsored by the way, but this is just like my new favorite lip gloss. But it also has a bit of a like cooling sensation, but it's not plumping. I'm also not a fan of lip plumpers, so it's been really hard to not find one, but this one works great. So excited. Putting on lip gloss right before I drink coffee, this totally makes sense. So now that my little breakfast is prepared, I'm gonna do some normal morning routine stuff. So I'm gonna check my email and respond to everything I have to, and just kind of get my day started with some coffee and some snacks. Woo! Just finished all the emails. Very happy, very satisfied. I've been trying to keep up with emails, but sometimes I go through like a phase where I don't answer them for like 4 days in a row and it's really bad. I think it's time to paint, so I'm gonna bring the rest of my little snacks upstairs and then we're gonna do a little painting guy. So exciting. Okay, so we are now in my room officially. It is time to paint. I'm excited. I cleared off my entire desk and I'm very happy about my new desk layout that I've had. That's been both a gaming setup and also whatever else I need it to be. There have been many instances where I want to use my desk for something previously and I was not able to because there was just too much stuff on it, and now I've kind of downsized a little bit, so I just have my gaming laptop and my headset and all that stuff obviously, and then I'm able to take my desk mat away and tuck in my keyboards, and then I can use this area for painting. We do have to do some prep work before painting, so obviously I need to get like my cup of water for painting. I need to set up my paints. I have all of them over here in this box, and also there's some scattered on the floor because I've been painting for a couple days now, and you guys can check out my last video for all of the updates on that because that is from the last time that I was painting, and you'll see all the progress that I've already made. But I already have some of this painting done. As you can see, there's a little bit going on, but I'm ready to finish it today, so this is gonna go great. First thing I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna fill up my humidifier just because it's one of the steps I take before I paint. I really like to have it full so that it can be running while I work because I have had really bad skin lately and I really need it. So ideally, if I can get myself to sit in one room and not move for a little bit, a humidifier is a must for me, especially in the winter right now. So I'm gonna fill that up a bit. But then I think we are ready to go and do our little painting. So I actually have some footage from last night of me painting as well in preparation for this video, so I'm going to squeeze this in here right now before we get started on the current process. But this is some of the background work that I was doing. I was painting a lot of the littler flowers in the back just because I figured if I did that on camera, it's a bit hard to tell in the grand scheme of things what I'm working on. A lot of these flowers, I'm not really showing you all the work that goes into them, so please know that it takes me like 4 or 5 coats on some of these to make them opaque, especially the white ones. It takes me literally forever. But my general process is after I finish the big shapes of the flowers, I'm gonna go in and fill in the spots in between with some dots. And of course, we're gonna go in and fill the centers of these flowers as well. This is probably my favorite part because it just feels so fulfilling and it feels so finishing. Like I feel like the flowers actually look like little flowers now that they are finished with their little centers, and I think it's so cute, and I love the way that the yellow looks against all of the colors here. One of the things I've been working on for the past few years in my artist journey is just figuring out my color palette and expanding it beyond just a certain amount of colors I feel comfortable with. And this time I did pink, purple, and yellow, and I think they look really good together, especially with the green background. And so I'm really happy with how these flowers are kind of blending into each other. And now we're gonna start with the next section. So the first step of these sections, the bigger ones, is I'm gonna be adding these stems. These stems are gonna peek through behind the flowers, and I'm not sure how obvious it's gonna be, but I remember doing it in my last painting, and so I want to make sure to do it in this one. And I have a couple of different shades of green going on just to make sure there's some different things to look at. And I'm actually making a bit of a mistake here. I'm painting the purple flowers, but I'm doing them with 5 different petals instead of 4. I actually meant to do 4 petals because each of the flowers that I do, I want to have a different shape. So the white flowers have 5 petals, purple flowers have 4, pink ones have 3, and the yellow flowers have like 8 petals or something. But for this one, I kind of forgot and I just painted the purple flowers with 5, and that's okay because no no one's really gonna notice except for me, but I had to make sure to take a mental note to not do that when I do the bigger section. But although I'm super zoomed in right now to this section, this is actually a very small portion of the painting, so it's not even super noticeable what's going on, and people won't really be able to tell the inconsistencies here. It's just something that's gonna bother me for a little bit, but it's okay overall. And so I'm gonna make sure to do enough coats on these. The purple actually offers a lot of opacity, so I didn't have to worry too much about having to do several coats for them. I think for the purple, 2 coats was enough, which was very relieving for me because I got really tired of having to do all these. But of course, we're gonna add all the little spots now, and this just really helps to fill in the space. And I'm doing 1 shade at a time. So right now I'm doing 1 shade of lighter purple, and then I'm gonna go in with another shade of even more pastel purple, and then I'm gonna draw in the flowers with those. That's kind of how I keep track of what colors I've already used. So I will do 1 pass through with 1 color. I will go through, make sure I have all the coats for it, and then I'll do another pass through with a different color. And this way I just don't get confused on what needs more coats and what doesn't, and if it's the coat of the same color or a different color. There's a lighter purple and a darker purple, and I'm actually gonna go in with a 3rd shade, and this one's gonna be a bit darker. I think it's just gonna add some really nice contrast. And sometimes when I notice that I've used a shade that I haven't really used anywhere else in the painting, I'm going to add it up to where I've previously painted before, just to kind of make things melt together a little bit. And then I'm gonna go in with this more pinky purple, and I'm going to just add some spots in between the flowers as well, just to make sure that there's a bit of continuity with where the pink flowers were. And now we get to do my favorite part again, which is adding the centers. I think these yellow centers look so cute, and I typically don't have to do multiple coats for these yellow centers either, which is also why it's one of my favorite parts. But this is some of the progress that I made last night in preparation for this video. So if you guys see the painting today and it looks a little bit different, that is why. It's because I've already gone through and finished this part. But today I'm going to be doing my very best to finish the rest of the painting, and I'm not sure if that's possible, but we're going to try our best, and hopefully we can make some good progress today because I'm dedicating my entire day to painting today, which is why I got all my snacks, I got my humidifier on, everything's going well, and I feel like I am ready for a long but productive day of painting. So you can see the part that I did yesterday, which is over here. We got the white flowers and we got the purple flowers, and I feel like it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, but that is how this painting is coming out so far because I have all of these little spots in the back, and I was streaming a lot of this on Twitch as well. Most of this background part I all streamed on Twitch, and so I think the VODs should still be up for 30 days if you guys want to check that out. But I'm excited because now we're going to move on to the rest of the painting, and this part is going to be so satisfying and so fun, and we're just gonna have so many things to do today. I'm thinking of doing a pink patch, a purple patch, yellow patch, a white patch. I don't know, there's so many things because I have the original painting hanging up on the wall right now, which is what I keep looking at and referencing, and there's just so many things I want to do. But I'm gonna put on a good TV show and we're just gonna get right to work. So starting with the process today, we are going to slide my little painting on the desk, and now it is time to do some work. I also have my snackies here. I have my breakfast, so we are going to be snacking while also working, and it's going to be wonderful and great. This is where we are at so far. I have a lot of flowers done already that I did yesterday, and I also have some that I'm going to be doing today. So I'm adding the stems for the new area that they were going to be painting, and this part is just going to have a lot of different patches of color, pretty similar to the background, but I'm going to section it off a bit more, and you're going to start seeing the overall shapes of the flowers more. Of course, the stems are a necessary part, and I tried to make the stems a bit darker towards the bottom edge of the painting, so I was using a couple shades of green. I'm not really sure if that came through or if that was even necessary because honestly the flowers are going to cover so much of it, but it's just nice to have a little bit of contrast peeking through. So after we finish all the stems, it's time to paint all the little flowers, and I'm just taking it slow, one step at a time. Right now I am doing the white flowers, and we're just doing a couple of the different outlines. Of course, I'm going to fill in between Moomin and his friend as well, and we're going to add the little spots after that is all done. But these white flowers of course require a bunch of coats, so it is not super easy. After the white flowers, we're going to do some purple flowers under it, and this is where I started doing the proper amount of petals because originally I was doing 5 and I should have been doing 4, and so now that I actually remember where I went wrong, we're going to correct it. And this is actually less work for me, so it amazes me that I didn't think to do this earlier. But with these 4 petals, it's a lot easier to manipulate the brush in a way where you can just paint them easily, so it's kind of just like a plus sign as opposed to the star shaped of the 5 petals. These actually went by a lot faster than I was expecting, which is good because we're kind of racing against the clock today. I have some plans later tonight, so I won't be able to paint the entire night. I am now adding the second shade, which is a more pastel shade, and I'm not even really marking out where these patterns are going or where the patches of flowers are going. I'm just kind of going based off of what I think feels right, and so far I feel like I should have this big spread of purple right under the white. And I was thinking about whether or not I should have sectioned off the little area where the Moomin was sitting, because in my original painting I had them sitting on a separate hill and I felt like maybe this would be weird if they were sitting in the middle. But I think after a little bit of time I was able to actually fix it and just make it look like they were sitting on a whole separate hill, so you couldn't really notice the difference. But it's just things like this that I think about while I'm painting. So now we're gonna start expanding the purple onto a different area, and I think it's looking really good. I'm quite happy with how it's coming along so far. And we got the white patch and the purple patch sorted, and so this is what it looks like so far. As you can see, we're making some progress. There are the purple sections and the white sections done, and so now we're just gonna be adding these spots in between all of these so that they can have a little bit more of a filled in look. And I think the stems are actually looking pretty good because I can kind of see them and I feel like it's making sense. But yeah, we're gonna go in and fill these little spots now, and I feel like it's gonna make a big difference. I've had several occasions while I'm painting this where I feel like something doesn't look right and then I forget all of the steps that I have to do, because as simple as this painting seems, there are so many different steps to make this look more finished. One of them is adding the spots in between to kind of fill in the negative space. Another one is to do enough coats to make sure that all of the colors are opaque. Another one is to add the centers. You have the stems as well, so just forgetting one of those steps kind of makes the painting look a bit different in my eyes. But I'm really excited to be going in and filling the spaces in between of spots, because as you can see, it makes such a big difference, and I'm really happy with this difference because it just looks a lot more finished to me this way. And at this point I'm still like, why does it look kind of different than how I envision it? And I can't really put my finger on what's making it different, and that's because I didn't go in with another shade of purple, so now I'm doing the darker shade, and it just like kind of pulls things together and makes things look a lot more finished. Those things like that where I kind of like forget what the next step is sometimes, but then once I figure it out, I feel like it all just falls into place. And now I get to do my favorite part again, which is adding the yellow centers. I think they're so cute. And so we're gonna go in and just dot these in, and because these flowers are still smaller, it's actually really easy to do this step. You just kind of go through and, you know, put a little dot on all of them. But eventually when these flowers start getting bigger towards the bottom of the painting, I'm actually gonna have to start shaping stuff and like making things look better and whatever. These yellow centers are definitely the most fulfilling part because it's like the finishing touch, you know? And so this is how it's looking so far. I think it looks pretty good. We have this bottom area that still needs to be filled in, so I'm gonna start doing the flowers a lot bigger than what I was doing before. But I think so far it's looking pretty good. I'm thinking of doing a patch of yellow and then a patch of white and then a patch of pink, and it's gonna kind of just pull things together, and I feel like that's definitely the move. But yeah, with all of the colors coming together in the top portion, I feel like the Moomin is looking happier by the moment, so I'm quite happy about that. But I feel like it's coming along. The bottom portion I'm actually gonna do just basically entirely like my original painting. We just have a yellow portion, a white portion, and then a pink portion, because I really love how this bottom part came out, and part of me wants to just mimic every part of this painting that I enjoy and kind of alter the parts that I didn't like. And this bottom part, I feel like just the way it flows in like an angle and the way these flowers come up definitely looks really good. And again, the edges of the painting are so important, because are you seeing this? Like that just looks so finished and so good. So I want to make sure to do that on this painting as well, which I have been, but it's just kind of like a constant reminder to yourself to, you know, do all of the steps properly. I'm excited because now we are officially at the bottom part, and this part is just like where the magic happens, because the flowers are gonna get bigger and it's gonna look so cute and happy. And so I'm going to take a little bit of a break, but then we are going to start doing this. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh. Also, I'm feeling hopeful that we could actually finish this painting today, or at least get most of it done. I actually wasn't anticipating to start a week-long vlog when I started today's video, but I feel like I'm just really in like the working mindset right now to get stuff done, so things are coming along pretty quickly. Oh my god, I actually smeared it a little bit. That's crazy. Do you guys see where I smeared it the tiniest bit? I don't think you can actually tell because it's so little, but I can tell. But I'm just gonna fill it in with a couple more spots, and hopefully no one will notice. But I hate when this happens. So I'm gonna paint in the little yellow centers for these pink flowers, and then after that we are going to be able to start doing the bottom portion, which is the final and last portion, which is so exciting. So we're making a lot of progress on today's painting, and I'm very happy about that. I'm putting a lot of paint on so I don't have to do multiple coats, because that is probably one of the best ways to avoid it. And I have enough water control where I'm pretty confident that these are gonna dry flat. I have a little snacky break, of course. Snacks are important, and I'm still working on my little cup of of coffee. We were jamming while we were eating and hanging out, and this is actually a very relaxing day for me so far, so I'm really happy with it. But now is one of the more nerve-wracking parts because it is officially time to start the big section. I'm painting these yellow flowers for the first time, and I'm actually getting a little bit tired, which is why I'm kind of just like scribbling these on, and they look really, really rough, but I'm definitely gonna go through and fix them. And now that I have, they look so much better. But because the yellow is such a thin color, it's gonna require a couple coats, but I honestly need that so that I have some time to kind of fix the shapes of these. As you can see, I'm going through and like rounding out the petals, making sure they look good and all of that good stuff. This is just part of the process that I do a lot of times. It's just a lot of touching things up and finishing things up, but I feel like these yellow flowers actually came out pretty good. Again, I'm doing only one shade right now, and we're gonna go through and do another shade after this, but I was also worried about whether this shade of yellow that I'm using right now would be too light or too dark for the canvas because there wasn't really anything for me to go off of. The little yellow portion that I did for my original painting was actually very, very small, so I wasn't sure, but I think the shades that I picked actually ended up doing pretty well, so I'm very happy about that. And I'm gonna go in and fill in some of the more negative spaces with just a different shade of sunflowers. I guess you could call these sunflowers. I'm kind of basing them off sunflowers, but they're not technically sunflowers. I'm gonna do some teeny tiny ones as well, and just making sure to fill in the empty spots with dots. And at this point, my brush is kind of going through it, so the dots are turning out bigger, but it's good because we're getting towards the bottom of the painting where things are getting bigger anyway, so it's actually working out for the best. I find that typically with my paintings because I take so long to finish them, and they are so labor intensive where I'm probably working on this for like a good amount of days for most of the day. My brushes start deteriorating, which is why I buy the more expensive ones to make sure that they last a little bit longer. But right now I'm using a Winsor & Newton brush. I found that typically after about, I'd say like 50 hours of work, the tip starts deteriorating a little bit, so it gets a little bit blunt and not as precise as it used to be. That's totally okay because we're getting to the bottom of the painting, and now we're gonna add the yellow centers for the yellow sunflowers. This part is so exciting. I was actually a little bit nervous about the color of the centers and if they would clash with the rest of the painting because I had to mix up a different shade of yellow, and it is a much darker shade of yellow that I haven't used before on this painting, but I think it ended up okay and it didn't really bother me too much in the end. And also acrylic paint dries darker than it goes on, so I was worried because I was using this dark color on the darker sunflowers. The colors look so similar right now, and I wasn't even sure if there was going to be any contrast when they dried, but luckily it ended up drying okay and it looks darker at the end, so everything worked out. And now we're gonna move on to the white flowers. This is pretty much one of the biggest finishing parts because most of this part of the hill is going to be consistent of white flowers, and these are all 5-point flowers, and this is probably the most tedious one for me to paint just because you have to make sure that it looks symmetrical and that everything's good. So there's so much layering that has to go on to make sure that it's the perfect opacity, but after working on it long enough, as you can see, we're making a little bit of progress and I'm getting a little bit faster at these. I basically test my patience, and if I feel super impatient, then I'm going to do some of the bigger portions with the bigger flowers that don't have to be as precise. And if I'm feeling more patient all of a sudden, then I go in and I try to either clean up the edges or I try to make the smaller flowers to fill in the spaces or things like that. So that's kind of how I balance this work for myself. Also how I make it a little bit less tedious because I am technically doing a bunch of different portions of the same work. So there's a lot of different steps to this stuff. I'm going in and just gonna fill in this whole thing with white flowers. It's gonna take me so long. I'm only gonna leave one little corner for some pink flowers just to add the final little touch. Making sure that these flowers all look good is definitely a little bit of a lot of work. The bigger flowers, some of them ended up taking over like 7 coats. I know I'm doing really thin coats of paint and I do that to make sure that the paint doesn't get lumpy. 7 coats of white paint is a lot, especially when it feels like there is no difference being made. I got really close to finishing this painting tonight, but I think I'm gonna call it a day. I did do the yellow corner. As you can see, I feel like this is coming out pretty good. And I did some of the yellow centers for that portion, but mainly this is the progress that we made today. We did this area, but I'm gonna leave the painting like this for today because I actually have some plans with some friends to go get dinner. So I'm going to skedaddle and go do that. But I'm super excited because we're going to BB.Q, which is a Korean fried chicken place. And I literally love that place. I had so much of it when I was in Rhode Island and I actually didn't realize that it was a chain. I thought when I left Rhode Island, I was leaving BB.Q for good, but turns out there's 2 like right near where I live. So we're gonna go there and probably, I don't know, hang out. It's a little send off for one of my friends because she's moving, and it's really sad because I've been friends with her since like 3rd grade, and then we got really close after college ended. So it's a bit of a bittersweet moment, but I'm really excited for her to, you know, take like this next step in her life, and I hope she has a great time where she moves to. Oh my gosh, it is just just so exciting. So we're gonna go see her for one last time. I'm going to continue this painting tomorrow, and we are actually gonna finish it because we only have one little portion left, and it is the little pink area, and I have full confidence that we can finish that tomorrow. So tomorrow's the day, guys. Tomorrow's literally the day we're gonna finish everything, and it's gonna be wonderful and fantastic. So I will see you guys then.
It's basically what it is. Huh? You don't think about it? Oh my god, 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 oh my god.
Good morning, everyone. So I just made myself some breakfast, and today we are going to power through and finish this painting. I have some strawberries here today that are going to accompany me, and of course I have some strawberry tops for the hammies, so I'm gonna give these to them really quick. This strawberry top is for my little baby Purin, and she is so feisty. She snatched it right out of my hand. We got one for our sleepiest man, Pingu. He's my handsomest boy, and he's so cute. He like took it and kind of tucked himself into his little bed still, so he's just eating his snacks in his bed. He's just like me for real because I love snacking in bed. It's just the coziest time. I wasn't sure if I want to include this in the vlog, but we have some strawberry tops for a mystery hammy that you guys have not met yet, but I'm so excited for you guys too. She will be in the next video, but we got a mystery hammy, so strawberry tops for everyone. And now let's get back into the painting. This is where we left off with. As you can see, I finished the white section, so I got all the coats on there and it's even, and I saved doing the centers just for you guys. And we're also going to finish doing the pink section next to it, but I think it's looking so good, and I'm very happy with how it's coming out. I'm very confident that we're gonna finish this in just a couple of hours today, so this is nothing like what we did yesterday, which was so much work. We filled up so much space. So today's gonna be a very simple and easy day, but let's go ahead and get into it. So we're doing the yellow centers. It looks so good. I am so happy with it, and we are just going to be filling in all of these. This is actually really relaxing for me because this is my favorite part ever, and it is just so cute, and all the flowers are starting to look like daisies, and it just makes me so happy. And it's also so satisfying seeing this painting getting filled in. I hope you guys feel the same way, because man oh man have I spent a lot of time on this, but you can just see like it coming together, and I feel like that's probably the most fun part about me vlogging this, is that you guys can see the entire process. And I'm planning on doing more painting in the future and doing a big Moomin painting as celebration for 100K. I want to thank you guys so much for 100K. I know I haven't really made any announcements, and that's because I'm saving all of it for my celebration video. I asked this in my last video, and I'd also like to ask you guys in this video if I do a big painting or a big project for 100K, but it's gonna take me probably a month or two. Would you rather me vlog throughout that month and post them as I go with weekly videos like I usually do? Or would you want me to finish the entire project and consolidate it into one YouTube vlog? Please let me know down in the comments which one you guys would prefer, because it's definitely for you guys a celebration, so I want to make a video that you guys would enjoy. I'm just taking a little poll here in the middle of the video, so if you guys could let me know what you prefer, that'd be super great, and I'd be very happy. We're gonna finish this painting today. I'm so excited to be finishing. We got some of these little guys going on, and also the purple shirt I'm wearing today matches so well with this painting. It's so cute. I'm very happy about it. After finishing all of the yellow centers, we are going to be doing the pink section, which is the last and final section. It is so exciting because I'm finally gonna be done with this painting. I actually didn't get tired of working on this painting at any point throughout this entire video, just because it's been so enjoyable for me, and I've really loved it, and I've also gotten to stream it on Twitch and hang out with you guys while painting, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. But this is the last section, a bittersweet section. We're going in with the lightest pink first, of course, to make sure that we cover all of our bases, and I'm going to be doing a couple different shades of pink, mainly just 2, but maybe 3 if I'm feeling up to it. The light one obviously is going to take a couple of coats, and also the bigger the shapes get, the more precise I have to get, so although I'm filling more space with a bigger shape and more paint, it's going to take me maybe the same amount of time as doing a smaller section as well with smaller intricate details, just because I still have to make sure that the lines are clean, and it's even more important to me now that the lines are clean if they're going to be this big and this noticeable. So I'm trying to make sure that it all looks good, and I'm also trying to hide some of the stems if they don't look the greatest, because I did them pretty haphazardly and I didn't really care about what they looked like when I was doing them, because I figured I'll just get to it and it'll just look like however, you know, I need it to look. We are going through and filling in all of the pink spots, and we are so close to being done. I feel like there is so much yet so little left to do, and this part I'm starting to get super excited about finishing because we are so close. The final step, actually the second to final final step, this is not the final step yet, is adding in the pink dots. So I'm going in and doing that and filling in all of the extra negative space. And then after I fill it all in with all the little spots, we can go in and do the yellow centers. I know these flowers look like tulips, so it doesn't really make sense for them to have yellow centers, but I've been drawing flowers like this since I was really young, and so I just keep doing it because it's a habit and I think it's cute. So it's little tulip looking flowers with the yellow center. I'm not sure what kind of flower this would be, but we're also in Moomin Valley, so it literally does not matter. But after finishing this last yellow center, we are officially done with the painting, and this is so exciting! Hello everyone, it is the next day. I took a little bit of a break the night that I finished as like a little celebration to myself, but we did it! She's done! Oh my god, this took me so long. One of my friends actually, we were talking about it the other day about how long this actually took me. Probably 5 days total of work, but I spread it out very strangely over a couple of days, because typically I would say I spend like a work day painting, so I spend like 10 hours painting a day, reasonably 10 hours of work a day, maybe less than 10, say like 8 hours of work, 8-hour work day. Probably spent 5 of those, but I don't know, I didn't really time it, but this is how it came out. I think it looks so incredibly good. Look at my eyes peeking at the top. I am so happy with how this turned out. I think it looks great. I think it looks so slay. And it's gonna go up there because you see how empty that is? That's no longer gonna be empty, and I'm so happy. This is what it looks like. We have all of the little flower detailing, and I think it looks incredible. I could not be happier with how this came out. Also, my hair today is looking pretty good. I didn't curl it as well as I should, but I feel like, I don't know, my bangs are growing in. Let's go ahead and hang this up on the wall behind me. I can scoot my chair back enough. But it's gonna go right up here. I already put a pin up there, so I think we're just gonna, ta-da, it's there. I should put 2 pins, but straight, yeah. It looks so good. I'm so happy. So it's gonna be in the background of many of my videos, hopefully from now on. And I'm planning on doing a big one, like literally this big, after this one. So if you guys have any recommendations on my celebration for 100K, because we hit 100K, I want to thank you guys all so much. I've been saving all my thoughts and stuff for the celebration video that I'm gonna be filming soon. I asked you guys in an earlier clip, but if you guys didn't catch it, please let me know in the comments whether or not you think that I should put it all into one video, or if I should segment it into 4 parts over a month, because that's probably how long it'll take me to finish. That aside, this Moomin painting is done. I am so happy about it. I think it looks so incredibly great, and it looks great on my wall, so I'm so happy. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching, for hanging out, and for making this possible. Honestly, all of your guys' support keeps me painting, keeps me working, keeps me making, so I'm so thankful for all of you. I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think of Moomin down in the comments below. I'm very happy. I think this is a great addition to the room, but I will see you guys in the next one. So stay hydrated, take a nap. I will see you guys when I see you guys. Bye everyone!